Are you wondering how to make your therapist marketing unique? I know I am. Actually, we're
Ooh,
your guests. I was like, ooh, we're your guest
ooh, good
expert
topic.
today on Level Up. Hey, everybody, we're Kate and Katie of the Private Practice Startup. And Level Up is a series all about, you guessed it, you, where we answer your most burning questions. And this is a burning question that we love to talk about. Therapist marketing being unique. We can't wait to dive into this with you guys. And Level Up is a series all about you, where we answer your most burning questions, help you work with the clients you love, and live that dream lifestyle. So before we begin, Kate.
Yes, let's take a quick moment to say thank you to our sponsor, TherapyNotes, for being a huge support of Startup Nation and for sponsoring this series. If you're in need of an amazing EHR, definitely check them out. You can get your first 2 months for free using code PPS as in Private Practice Startup. Just go to therapynotes.com.
Let's dive into today's topic. Yay, we love talking about marketing. This is like our soapbox thing, right? It's like when you, for me, Kate, I don't know about you, but like when you know you're passionate about something, it's like an hour can go by and you're still talking about it. Hopefully, people are still listening. Um, but it's one of those things that you can't shut yourself up. And this is definitely it for us, for sure.
Yes, and
Where do
that's
you want to
why
start, Kate?
that's why one of our core values is passion, because when you're passionate about it, it's just something that's so important to us. And we'll touch on core values in a little bit and why that's important. I think the best place to start and really thinking about what makes therapists unique when it comes to marketing and how they approach marketing is to really look at the therapist brand and to help therapists to really get clear on what their brand is and what it means to have an authentic brand that's really built on their personality, their strengths, their passions. And branding, the way that Katie and I think about it, it's really the experience that your clients have, or potential clients, or really anyone that comes in contact with you and your business, your private practice. What is the experience like for them? That experience that they have at any touch point along the therapist's journey or the client's journey, from researching and looking at your directory profiles to the pictures that you display in your marketing to your website and the colors and the feel and the aesthetics and the content that's on the page and the images of you, the images of your office, from the touch point of the initial client call, the intake call, whether it's someone else that you've hired, your client care coordinator that's a part of your team, or whether you have an online scheduling system that's really streamlined, to when they have their first session with you, whether it's virtual or whether they're parking outside of your office and walking into your lobby and they're smelling the aromatherapy, they're hearing the music, they're seeing the artwork, they're seeing the design. What are all of those touch points that your clients experience, from potential clients researching to other professionals and colleagues, and then clients in your office? What is the first session like? What do they feel like when they're leaving your office? What is going on in between your sessions? And then when they get to the end of the process of working with you, they've met their goals and done amazing work. What is that part of your brand experience like as well? So really thinking about that overarching experience that people have when they come in contact with you, when they come in contact with your private practice, that is really the essence of your brand. And it's something that can help you stand apart from all the other therapists in the crowd, in the crowded marketplace.
I know I love talking about this topic, Kate, because you're talking and I'm like just waiting to jump in. I'm like, I want to
Soapbox.
jump in. All right. Everything you said exactly. And one of the things for me, I still get compliments today on my voicemail. So I have a very specific way of sharing my information, and it's a branded way. It's consistent with my company. And I love to hear when I, hit play and it's like, hey, Katie, it's so and so. I just got to tell you, I love your voicemail. So whether our friends and family are calling, like that also makes you stand out. So for me, Kate and I have a lot of quotes that we love about branding, but my own personal quote about branding is really infusing your personal with your professional, right? And authentically, you want to show up as who you are. I love that quote that says, be yourself, because everyone else is taken. And it's sometimes hard. I think, especially in the therapy world, we have to do a lot of mindset work, not only on money and business and other stuff, but some of us have to undo a lot of the schooling and the academia that we received about kind of being that blank slate and don't share too much about your life. And, so to really live in authentically who you are, if you someone who's pretty chill and relaxed and kind of puts their feet up on the desk and that's who you are, it would kind of be hard probably to sit in session like really stiff and uncomfortable and wear, I don't know, slacks instead of jeans. But when you're authentically who you are, you're more relaxed. That gets communicated. You show up as who you are. I can think of so many people, whether they've been our podcast guests in the past, or our coachees. Like, thinking about them, I think about Kate, I think about April Cassalarian, and she's just so like artsy and bright, and I wouldn't expect her to show up any other way. And if she did, it would be like one of those things in our mind that says, this doesn't make sense, right? And so when you're clear on your brand, and like Kate says, if you communicate that through all touch points of your business, there is consistency and cognitive congruence, not incongruence. And it's interesting because we as humans can detect that stuff. Like, for example, Coca-Cola. When I say Coca-Cola, when you think about the logo, you're probably thinking red with the script, right? Like a script writing. Now, if they had like blue and blockchain that said Coca-Cola, you'd be like, this is not right. So that stuff is really important throughout your entire process, like Kate was talking about. Anyways, I could go on about brand, but brand is definitely something that when you are branded, you make yourself unique in the marketplace and you totally stand out. I know Kate was alluding to our number 2 point earlier, which is core values. So one of the things that we teach, and I think I think we're the only ones that teach this, really talking about a vision, mission, culture, and your core values, your core brand values, and how important that is understanding who you are and your core values outside of work, but also inside of work. And then how do you utilize those to set yourself outside the rest? So for example, our core values here at the Private Practice Startup are passion, collaboration, and quality. And what's interesting is, it's funny, I was actually kind of reviewing some stuff for our social media manager yesterday, and giving her some feedback. And I said, I apologize if you feel like I'm nitpicking, but one of our brand values is quality. So we want to make sure that everything is of quality. And Kate and I are big collaborators. And it really takes us a long time here at the Private Practice Startup to decide if we're going to partner with someone, because we want to make sure that they're collaborative, that they have an abundance mindset, that it's a mutually beneficial relationship. And we're looking for all of those things. And of course, passion. We're passionate about what we do when we want to work with others who are, and we work with you as therapists who are super passionate about what you guys do. And we want to be able to ignite that and have it shine through your brand and the work that you do. Kate, what do you want to say about core values?
Yeah, not only is this important when it comes to clarity of your brand and marketing, it's also important because it's the key factor of building a business around your life. So living your ideal life, being in alignment with your own core values, personally, professionally, and building your business around that, not the other way around. So that's just kind of a side note that's really important for keeping your passion alive and making sure that you have a business that you love that works really well with your life and your family's life. And when it comes to being super clear on your vision, mission, culture, and core values, particularly, it makes all business decisions moving forward so clear and so much easier. They become a no-brainer. You guys, I can remember years ago when I first got into private practice, I wasn't clear on my brand. I wasn't clear on my core values. I wasn't clear on my vision, my mission, my company culture. And I brought on team members at that time because I was just kind of accepting whoever wanted to work at the office, and they weren't in alignment with our culture, with our core values. And once I did the work on the brand and the core values and the culture, it became so clear about who was an ideal fit and who was in alignment and who wasn't. And the people who weren't, it didn't play out nicely, unfortunately. Things really dissolved, and it wasn't the most positive experience, but it was a big time learning lesson for me about the importance of being crystal clear on what those core values are, our company culture, and only bringing on team members, only bringing on staff to work at our practice, at our group practice in Fort Lauderdale, that are in perfect alignment. And it's just made the decision so much easier, and it's helped us to create a drama-free environment, and it's just made life so much more pleasant. So I want to encourage you all to really get super crystal clear on your core values, not only for your personal life, but also for your work environment and for your marketing. Because when you're clear on those aspects, it makes your marketing so much more streamlined and clear as well.
Awesome. And Kate, another thing I would say about core values, just to parrot that, an example I have, I recently created a new business, and part of creating a new business is going through the process of doing everything we just said: vision, mission, culture, core values. And I'll say, like, I'm glad that we teach this stuff, because I had to have some compassion with myself that it took me a while to get really clear, because you're going from a big vision of what you're creating out there in the world and feeling really aligned with what you do. And that sometimes isn't easy. And it was interesting. So when I first started creating our new business, I needed an assistant, but I didn't develop my core values or my vision, mission, and culture. And recently she actually resigned. And it was funny because I kind of expected it, but at the same time, I kind of said to myself, this is okay, because she's not fully aligned, and it's perfect, because now we're clear, and the next team member we'll bring on will be completely aligned with what we're up to. So I just wanted to share a little story about how having your core values, knowing your core values, and more importantly, living them is really important. And also too, most companies don't share their core values. Like, imagine if you were at a networking event, or we're talking to maybe someone that you're going to collaborate with, and say, well, in our practice, our core values are this, and explain that. Most people aren't doing that. So that would ultimately make you pretty unique right off the bat. Let's talk about your unique selling proposition. That's another thing that's going to set you out. Now, I got to share with you that when I first started private practice, I think I went over Therapist Psychology Today directories and looked at their USPs. And I'm like, well, okay, I thought initially, like, a unique selling proposition was something that no one else had. And it was like this detriment for me trying to figure out what that was. It's not that. It's pretty simple. It's just, what is your unique selling proposition? Maybe you speak several languages. That is a unique selling proposition. Maybe you practice a specific modality of therapy, or maybe you do retreats or equine assisted psychotherapy. Those are some unique selling propositions. Kate, what do you want to share on this?
Yeah, I think it's important also to look at your personality. Do you incorporate humor? Are you playful? Are you direct? Are you collaborative? What is your particular style? What makes you unique? And incorporating that personality into your work with clients, and then also into your marketing as well. Because as people come across your information online or in person, and they're coming across with your marketing, you want them to get a sense of who you are. You want them to get a sense of what it's like to work with you, kind of like what Katie was talking about earlier. So you have that congruence and the consistency across all of those touch points. So if you're marketing yourself one way and you show up in the therapy room another way, and they're like, wait a minute, this isn't what I signed up for. That's why it's important to be clear on this. And your USPs also can be your specializations. If you're highly specialized in working with first responders, or maybe you offer EMDR through a certain approach, or heart-centered hypnotherapy, or whatever it is, these are aspects that make you unique along with your personality. So it's just taking the time to really get clear about that. And it's not the words, oh, I'm compassionate, I create a safe space in the therapy room. That's a given. Therapists create safe spaces for their clients. It's a given. So it's really going beyond those terms and really offering that clarity for people.
Yeah, well, as you were sharing, I was just thinking about our podcast guest, Tyrese McAllister. She had an amazing story on our trials and tribulations. She actually had worked in homicide and crisis for 25 years, and then her daughter was killed by gun violence. So she almost doesn't even have to market anymore. She shares her an amazing story, how she's so resilient, and her faith in God and everything like that helps her get through. But she doesn't even advertise anymore, because she is the go-to person, because not only has she had the personal experience of death and homicide, but also she has the clinical experience. So that makes her very unique, and it's something to be shared because people might be looking for you. And I think it's so, so very important. So just get really clear on how do you uniquely serve your clients, and or like Kate was saying, your personality, your attributes, and all of those things. So we hope that you guys have really enjoyed this topic. I mean, I know we have. We hope that we've shared some stuff with you that really gets the wheels turning and makes you think about, how can I set myself outside? And then the number bonus thing, or I guess I would say, is of all the things that we've talked about today in marketing, is you want to make sure that you're consistent throughout all of your social media platforms, your online presence, your communication, whether it's in print marketing, if you still have print marketing, whether it's at a networking event, whether you're meeting with, a stakeholder, you want to make sure that everything is consistent. So, Kate, final thoughts?
Yeah, we hope you found this episode to be helpful. I think we offered a lot of food for thought, and we will look forward to seeing you all on the next episode.
Take care,
Take
everybody.
care, everybody. Stay inspired.